What is going on, warriors and farmers of Tamaris? Back again with another Call of Dragons video. In today's episode, we are going to have a look at the top 3 epic heroes that are secretly legendary. These epic heroes are going to give you legendary performance against your enemies in the open field. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more content like this, turn on the bell notification and never miss out. Like the video, share it with your friends, drop some comments down below. Let's get right into it. Alright, warriors of Tamaris. There are so many legendary heroes in Call of Dragons. Unfortunately, it is very difficult for so many players to max out these heroes. Now today I'm going to show you 3 epic heroes that you can use in your lineup. These epic heroes will give you something like legendary performance against your enemies. Before we get started with the good stuff, let us take a look at the honorable mention, and that is going to be Craig. I consider this guy the wielder of the archer troop type. Craig is the only archer in Call of Dragons that can hit multiple targets with the rage skill. The main target is going to take 800 skill damage factor, and then 2 nearby enemies are going to take 300 skill damage factor each. On top of that, Craig can do 200 damage factor to each one of those 3 targets for 3 seconds through the bleeding effect. It's kind of like a combination of Walder and the Lilia Scorch, except that with Craig, you get all of it without any probability required, like Lilia over here with skill number 4. So Craig is an excellent hero to have in your lineup. His performance is going to be dependent on the season that you play. If you are playing in a season with long range warfare, you absolutely need to include this guy in one of your lineups because he is going to do so much for you. You can hide your Craig among your archers. It's going to be excellent. Now, if you're playing in a season that doesn't have long-range warfare, it's going to be a little bit challenging because your archers are going to be very close to the enemies and it's going to be difficult for you to cast your rage skill. Therefore, if you play in a season with long-range warfare, Craig is the way to go. Number 3 on the list is going to be the one, the only Alistair. As of right now, cavalry has become very important in Call of Dragons. The game developers have introduced the army groups, and so many people are destroying enemies with cavalry. Alistair is going to be an excellent addition to your lineup. What really makes this guy so good for your cavalry lineup? Well, let's take a look at the rage skill. He can do damage to 2 targets, each one taking 600 damage factor, and then he's going to inflict cower on the enemy. So the enemy is going to do 20% less counter attack against you. This can be very useful against archer heroes who do a lot of counter attack. And since you're going to kill them very fast, your Alistair is going to be very important. Now there is one skill that really makes him so great, known as the Light of Soland. When Legion has over 50% units remaining, they gain synergy and passion for 3 seconds when launching normal attack. So the synergy, hero skill damage dealt plus 30%, and then passion, rage accumulation speed plus 30%. Alistair is going to be one of the heroes in your lineup that will cast more rage skill than all of your other cavalry heroes in the same lineup. If you are running multiple cavalry marches, this guy is going to be casting a lot of rage skill. And there are so many good heroes that you can pair up with your Alistair. So let us go to the hero section and see who is going to be excellent with this hero. As of right now, so many people are pairing Alistair with Theodore, and it is for a reason. When you fight multiple enemies at the same time, Alistair is going to hit 3 of those enemies and put cower on those enemies. So those are 3 debuffs. And then when you look at Theodore over here, he has this skill known as coup de grace, which requires 3 debuffs from the rage skill. So Alistair is going to hit 3 enemies in front, and then Theodore is going to max out this coup de grace, giving himself 60% hero skill damage. On top of that, Alistair also has another 30% hero skill damage, making your Theodore do like almost 90% hero skill damage, which is just fantastic for this 1400 hero skill damage factor. Now this would be the perfect pairing for your multiple cavalry marches. It's going to work great. In my own opinion, I think Danfell is going to be a very good option for your Theodore as well, because Danfell can do so much for you in your lineup. He has a higher rage skill damage, which means if you're chasing single targets, Danfeld will be doing a lot more damage. However, Alistair is going to be excellent when you're targeting multiple people at the same time. He is going to take your Theodore to the next level. So this is one of the heroes that you don't want to miss out on in the game. He is going to do so much for your multiple cavalry lineup. As of right now, so many people are trying to build their multiple cavalry lineup, so Alistair is going to be an excellent option for you. Now, if you don't want to pair him with Theodore, well, guess what? So many people already have like a very good Kinara. You can use Kinara behind Alistair. Alistair will give you faster rage cycles, and Kinara will be, you know, reducing the damage of the enemy and also applying defense break, helping your lineup do a lot of damage. You can include Nika as a deputy to Alistair as well. Nika has a 1500 hero skill damage factor, which is just excellent. And then you have another 500 skill damage almost every 2 seconds when the enemy HP drops to below 50%. This is great. Alistair is going to boost these two skills by 30% skill damage. It is fantastic. Epic hero number 2 is going to be the one, the only, Guanwin. Guanwin is an excellent hero for the current state of the open field in Call of Dragons. As of right now, so many players have maxed out most of their heroes. When they fight in the open field, they tend to kill an enemy as fast as possible. Guanwin is one of the heroes in the game that can do a lot of damage in a short amount of time. I can put her almost in the same class as Margaret, and that is because of the awakening skill known as Fervent Wind. What does this skill say? When Guanwin's Legion launches a normal attack, they have a 50% chance to inflict poison. Deals damage every second for 3 seconds. So when you are fighting your enemies, from what I've seen, Guanwin is going to trigger 100 hero skill damage factor every second, 9 out of 10 times in the first 10 seconds. So that is like 900 hero skill damage factor, which is just fantastic. And then her rage skill can, you know, do 3 hero skill damage factor, 200, 200, and then 400, which is just great. What else do we have here? You gain 15% physical attack, 10% march speed, and you also do 10% more damage. A fantastic arsenal of skills that are excellent for the current state of the open field, where your enemies die very, very fast. The Guanwin bleeding effect is excellent for the open field against your enemies. And I'm going to show you guys a fantastic war pet you can use with this hero in the open field. You guys want to see something funny? Let me show you guys the lineups that I've been using for my archers. This, ladies and gentlemen, is my current preset for archers. We have Margaret Zeta, Sindrion Freyga, Kinara Hosk, and then Nico Guanwin. Every single time, my Nico and Guanwin is bringing me more merits than the Sindrion and the Freyga. That is because the open field has changed. When you play as an archer, you don't have time to cycle through your rage skills. Therefore, Sindrion suffers a little bit in the current state of the open field. My Nico and Guanwin has been bringing me lots and lots of merits. So let me show you guys what I have done with this hero, the war pet that I use with this hero. So we're going to go over here, we click on pets, and then it is one of the Shadow Manticores. It is this one right here. I have decided to put the 2 crit skills for the hero skill crit damage. This is the key for this pairing. Remember, you're going to be doing 100 hero skill damage every second with your Guanwin. With Guanwin, I mean. That is going to be super awesome for the open field. And for now, I'm going to show you guys a demonstration of how this skill is going to work. So we're going to hit this target, go attack, multi-create. I have the setup here. We're going to pick some of these awesome heroes and put them together. So this is the lineup, guys. Gonna switch the pet, put the one that I want to use, hit replace, and that is good. So this is the pet. These are the only 2 sources of the hero skill crit. You're going to see the hero skill crit symbol right next to the hero skill damage that get crits. So over here we have Nico. Let's see. What is so good about Nico? Nico has a rage skill that's also gonna crit with the 2 skills that I just showed you. And the awakening for Nico is going to allow him to do 200 skill damage when Nico detects a defense break on an enemy. The good thing is it doesn't have to be Nico to put the defense break on the enemy. If one of your marches puts a defense break on the enemy, Nico is still going to read that and then trigger this bullseye barrage, which is just fantastic. So this is what I'm going to be using. Gonna hit march. Let me change it first. So we go straight to the talent tree and I show you guys a little something. So this is the talent tree that I use as well. I went in the marksman direction. At the end, I took burst shot. So this skill has the chance to get a crit with the crit skills that I just showed you from the pet. And here is another one as well, known as the wild wind. We live in a state where enemies die fast. So the more damage you can get in a short amount of time for your archers, the more merits you're going to get. So let us see what this march is going to do. Pay attention to the crit symbols. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. I might do the test twice, just so we can see what happens, okay? So pay attention to the crit symbols. We haven't got any yet. Looks like this one wasn't a nice test. Okay, so we got one crit over there. And we got another one right there. So I'm going to reset this. It doesn't happen all the time, but it is there. Sometimes it just goes crazy and it blows off. So I'm just gonna walk away from this darkling and then come back. As you guys know, in the open field, you go in and out, you go in and out. So you're going to be able to trigger this thing so many times. Let us try this again. Let us see what the skill crit is going to do for this pairing. There is so many criticals, as you guys just saw right there. The first one was a critical hit. So all these numbers here, these are just the bleeding effect. So when you're kiting an enemy, just take a look at that rage skill for Nico. It got a crit. That was just fantastic. And there we go, another crit. So many crits. This is just cool. Let us do this again, one more time. You know what? Let me try with Gwanwyn and Craig. Because Craig has so many hero skill as well. So here we go. You don't want to mess with Gwanwyn. Try to incorporate her in your lineup. She is excellent for the current state of the open field. So right now we're going to put Mr. Craig in front. Or maybe put him behind Gwanwyn. That way we can use the talent tree. So I'm going to put this artifact equipped. We go yes. And then the pet is this one right here. This is good. Okay, so we're going to come out. Hit march. Let me put her on the side. Go back here and see what talent tree we are using. Do I have everything I need? So this is the talent tree. Looks like I'm using something different, but we can work with it. So let's go and check it out. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this build is going to be excellent for those quick short fights in the open field. When you get a lot of crits on this hero skill damage, it's amazing. Looks like we didn't get any. Let Craig hit his skills. Okay, we got one crit right there. Here comes the bleeding from Craig. Not a whole lot of crits for now. Let's try this one more time. The good thing is when you fight, you go in and out, in and out. Therefore, I think this is going to be super cool. Okay, let's do this one more time. Then we move on to number 1. I think you know who is going to be in number 1. Here we go. Attack the enemy. We're looking for the criticals. We got one right there. Not bad. We got another one. So this is good. On average, you get 2 or 3 crits right away before you cast your rage skill. It's a good thing to have. Very, very good for your archers, especially with the current state of the open field, where enemies die quick. You try to do as much damage as possible. So this would be the hero in position number 2. An excellent hero to have in your roster. Very, very useful in seasons where you have long-range warfare and no long-range warfare. She is not a hero for 1v1 fight. As you guys know, the open field is all about working together with your teammates. So this hero is going to perform very, very well for you, especially if you haven't maxed out some of your other heroes. You can pair Gwanwyn with Craig. You can pair Gwanwyn with Husk, depending on your lineup. For example, if you have Nico paired up with Kinara, you can go Gwanwyn and Husk, or you can go Gwanwyn and Craig. It should work very good for your account. Okay, Warriors of Tamaris, time to check out the #1 epic hero for the open fields. He is right here, Mr. Walder himself, aka excellent rage skill in Call of Dragons. This guy is amazing. It has been 2 years and this guy is still kicking butt in the mage lineup. Just take a look at his rage skill. Deals damage to the target and 2 nearby legions. Inflicts gloom. You know what? Let's go to the main screen and see the good stuff. Deals damage to the target and 3 nearby legions and inflicts gloom and hoarfrost for 30 seconds. So 700 skill damage factor to 4 legions. This is like 1400 plus 1400, 2800 damage factor. Absolutely amazing. Well, take a look at this new G3 hero. This mediocre hero added in G3. The damage factor is 1600. But when you look at someone like Walder, when he hits those multiple targets, you add this up. 2800 damage factor. Absolutely fantastic. Will do more for you than what this hero can do for you. So Walder is an amazing, epic hero you need in your mage lineup. As of right now, he pairs up very well with pretty much any mage hero in the game. He is excellent. He works well with Lilia. He works well with Verlin. He can also pair up with Thea pretty good. So you can try that out. Or you can use Ethias behind him to make him cycle more rage skills, which is just super cool for your account. So this guy is the real deal. The #1 best epic hero in the game for the open field fights. When it comes to the talent tree, this is what I recommend. It is built for the current state of the open field where your enemies die as fast as possible. At the end, you try to ignore caged animals because your enemies die within 10-15 seconds. You're not going to be locked in battle for a long time, which is why you go with Thirst for Blood. You get the damage right away. Over here, you take Boiling Blood, depending on your deputy, whether they have rage skill damage or not. So this is the build that I would use for Mr. Walder. And these, ladies and gentlemen, are the top 3 epic heroes in Call of Dragons. Try to include them in your lineup if you don't have the best legendary heroes available in the game. These heroes are going to perform very, very well for you, especially Walder and Gwanwyn. Gwanwyn is absolutely amazing with this fervent wind and the current state of the open field. This hero is the real deal. Absolutely fantastic. And that's it for the video, guys. If you're new, subscribe for more content. Until then, talk to you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.